Hello, welcome to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is August the 2nd, 2019, and we're on show number 108. Hola y bienvenido a otra discusión de 5K tenis. Hoy es el 2 de agosto de 2019 y estamos en el programa 108.
Bienvenido, esto es mañana. Tres primeros jugadores de tenis. Bien Messi, bolsa de ratas, el perro malo.
Horrible, sorry.
Shoot, get down! That's how I roll.
That was horrible.
Do you like my Spanish? My español? Habla español? Doubted my
We
skills.
talked about a whole bunch of dates and rats. Come on now.
Melo palo. Perro malo. Malo perro. Let's get down.
Wow.
Let's go. U.S. Open shows have begun.
Even the string didn't agree with you.
Shoot, String was doubting my
I see the
español.
string's trying to run away from you.
Shoot.
They're like, that's bad Spanish.
All right. Anyway, moving forward. Hopefully you enjoyed my Spanish skills, which was a conglomeration of, I don't know.
A whole bunch of stuff.
Let's jump right in. Here we go. So this is pre-U.S. Open discussion show number 3. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And you can catch up with us on Instagram, Twitter, which at Twitter it is at 5K Tennis 1, the number 1, so 5K Tennis 1. Facebook, and as well email, and all those links are available directly in the expanded description field. Well, how do I see that? We've been asked this before. It's generally a little arrow to the right of the title. You can click the arrow and you'll see description field, and all the links should be right there in blue for you to click on and direct you right to them. All right? So we're going to jump right into the show today. This is our last show, I think you could say, before the other 3 kids. We have 3 kids away and 2 kids here. And the 3 oldest ones that are away help us do the filming. So pardon us if we have to get up and make sure the camera's still rolling. But that is why. So real quickly, I want to start today's show with, again, a quick rundown of the prize giveaways that we are going to offer for this year's 2019 U.S. Open, which we are extremely excited about. Number 1 is the tennis racket giveaway. So the tennis racket giveaway, again, is a YTEX V-Core 97 with a 4.5-inch grip. It was donated to us for this giveaway by Gabriel Perkins and his wonderful family, his mother, Natasha May. It's freshly strung with YTEX Strings Poly Power, which, by the way, we have been playtesting and demoing for a while, and we will be doing our Poly Power playtest and review video early next week. So that will come out soon, so look out for that. But it's a really nice racket, extremely good condition, if not excellent. I've hit with it a few times just to kind of to feel it out, and I will put a new overgrip on it for you, so pardon a little dusting to the overgrip, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful racket. So how the how the tennis racket giveaway will work is that you will predict the men's final of the U.S. Open, and you will predict the women's final of the U.S. Open, and predict the winners on the men's side and women's side. As long as you get 3 out of the 4 finalists in place, and you select both of the winners, then you will win the tennis racket. If there is a tie, we always have a good way of figuring out the tie. It used to be just select one winner, but because of the Big 3 over the past many years now, generally the finals are fairly predictive on the men's side. So that's why of the slight rule change for this U.S. Open. So good luck with that. By the way, one of our friends at this point, Matt Kane in London, won the tennis racket for Wimbledon, and we're going to do a topic 1 as we start. Not yet, but we're going to do a topic number 1 when we start specifically for that, as he received it and sent us some fun videos and pictures to correspond with that. Number 2, our second prize giveaway will be our fantasy team selections. The top 2 finishers in those fantasy team selections will receive either 2 sets of YTEX strings or a YTEX shirt or jacket. A YTEX shirt, something similar to this. We have some jackets. The sizes may not be your size.
I think they're large, right?
I think we have large, yes.
We do have a lot of medium shirts. I saw girl shirts, many sizes. Do we have extra large?
Possibly. But either way, we can offset that with a 5K tennis shirt, as we do have generally all the sizes in those. So how the fantasy team selections will work is you will select 8 men's players once the draws are released. Wait till the draws are released. But you will select 8 men's players and 8 women's players. Only 4 men and 4 women can be seeded, not ranked, seeded within the top 20, and the other 4 men and the other 4 women must be seeded outside of the top 20 in the tournament, okay? Not rankings, but seeded in the tournament once draws are released. Once the tournament starts, every player that's seeded within the top 20 will receive 1 point per match win, and those players seeded outside of the top 20 will get 2 points per match win. The top 2-point finishers will be our winners, okay? So we'll mention more about this and sprinkle it in every show as we move forward. So good luck to all of you. And by the way, keep track of your scores once the tournament starts. I do keep track of all the scores, but I'm human. And last tournament, I had to keep track of some 25 odd different people's scores, and luckily 2 people ran away with it, and that was, I think, Peter Dickstria and Matt Cain and Jordan Nelson. I think there was 3 of them. Jordan Nelson and Matt Cain were the 2, right?
Peter Dickstria hasn't replied. Peter, if you're watching, I've sent you several messages and I haven't heard back.
Yeah, we still owe Peter Dickstria a shirt, but we can't quite get him to respond. But he was one of our fantasy team winners from the last tournament that has yet to get back to us. So hopefully Peter Dickstria is okay. By the way, Carla and I do participate in the fantasy team brackets or the fantasy team prize giveaway. So not only are you playing against one another, but you are playing against us as well. All right? So here we go, Carla. Let's jump right in to topic number 1. And in all due respect to Matt Cain in London, our topic number 1 is dedicated to you. So Matt Cain was our tennis racket giveaway winner from Wimbledon. So we wanted to start this show with a shout out to him. And Matt Cain sent us a picture of his tennis racket when he picked it up from the postal office or whatever your designation is for that in London. So we wanted to start the show off with a picture of Matt Cain and his racket. Sorry, dropped the racket. All right, so that is Matt Cain and his racket. He looks mighty excited to get it. So we were really happy. Show that picture one more time, as he was really excited to get the racket, which made us very excited as well. But furthermore, and real quick before you show this, Carla, Matt Cain shortly thereafter sent us a video of him at a sporting goods store. And I want to say he was buying maybe some equipment. I don't know if you have that picture, Carla. If you do, great. But he sent us a picture of buying a bag, like a racket bag. You didn't see that?
No.
Okay, well, he sent us a picture. He was at a sporting goods store, and it looked like he was buying a racket bag for the racket. So much love on that. And he furthered that by sending us a video of him actually testing out the racket. So, Carla, can you go ahead and show Matt Cain's video? There's audio.
Gonna be the next Djokovic, guys. Too difficult to do.
Show it one more time.
Gonna be the next Djokovic, guys.
Oh, one more time. You got to show that again. That was a classic video. You got to show that video again.
Too difficult to do, but let's see.
Listen to the words.
Gonna be the next Djokovic, guys.
All right.
Difficult to do, but let's see.
So that was an incredibly awesome video. So we had the delivery video at the post office. Then we had the video at the sporting goods store. And then we had the proclamation that he would be the next Djokovic, guys. And that was incredibly awesome. So, again, great job, great win, Matt Cain. And thank you for keeping us in the loop of the video. But a quick poll question. Is everybody ready? Can Matt Cain be the next Novak Djokovic?
Oh, come on.
He could be. He could be.
I don't know. Hitting against the wall is pretty hard, Matt Cain. It's really hard. I mean, it takes a long time to master, even for advanced players.
Yeah, the wall can be your fiercest competitor you will ever come across. No matter what, the ball's going to come back. Sometimes when you hit it, it comes back so fast it's hard to get a read on it. Furthermore, I saw the wall. That wall was a little low, so if your balls are shooting over that wall, then you might want to have a basket, because I hate to climb that wall every time that you lost the ball.
By the way, he's very talented. I was watching some of your videos of you singing and playing the piano and stuff. Very talented. He even did a video, like a music video. I thought it was pretty fun. He was dancing and everything.
He should do a music video on that racket. Let's go.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting to watch. Talented guy.
All right, congratulations again to Matt Cain. We love you a lot. And again, the Yonex VCore 97 is up for grabs for the U.S. Open in the same manner that Matt Cain won this one. So it definitely happens. So best of luck to everyone. All right, topic number 2. I'm going to turn it over to Carla. And that is going to be current tournaments and upcoming tournaments. This was kind of a rushed show, by the way, in terms of writing it. So if I'm a little off, it's because I didn't have a lot of time to study this. Again, with the other 3 kids gone, they help us out tremendously with this show. So it's been a little difficult to kind of get all the I's dotted and T's crossed without them, but they will be back Sunday. So Carla, all yours for current tournaments and upcoming tournaments.
Well, we have the Citi Open going on, which is for the men's and the women's. And I'm not going to mention every single match. I mean, they've been playing it for a while now, and there's been a few surprises. We had the number 1 seed, Sloane Stephens, who actually lost in the first round. She went down to Rebecca Peterson from Sweden. 6-2, 7-5, first round. I don't know what to think about this. I mean, sometimes we say that when these top seeds lose, it's not a big deal. But I think for somebody like Sloane Stephens, it is a big deal, especially being ranked number 1 at this tournament. Tough loss for her.
Yeah, Sloane Stephens to me just hasn't been the same player since the coaching change. The coaching change was definitely something that I don't think she swallowed very well.
I just don't get why, if something's working, why switch coaches? I don't get it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it type deal.
Yeah. It's hard to find a coach that you can mesh with, that you understand each other, have a good relationship. With a tennis coach, you have to have a good relationship on the court and off the court.
Yeah, I think Sloane Stephens' coach went over to Monica Puig's camp. No disrespect to her, but yeah, Monica Puig's been the same Monica Puig. So she's right. She's 100% right. A coach will sometimes gel with your energy, and it makes you just feel better, more comfortable. Kind of like a good tennis string, you find the one and you're just more comfortable. But it just seems like since that split, Sloane Stephens has been up and down, to say the least, more like just down. I still think she will make a second week of the U.S. Open. You know what I mean? I still think she'll be in the thick of things. I don't think she'll lose to Peterson again in the first round of the U.S. Open. But I do think it's reason to worry about where Sloane Stephens is and where she's headed, though.
Very true. Another player who went down, another American player, the number 2 seed, Madison Keys, goes down to a 17-year-old Baptiste. Loses in 3 tight sets. Baptiste is actually from Washington, D.C. She's from D.C. She's an American player. Good win for her. But then again, it makes you question, what's going on with Madison Keys?
Furthermore, what was puzzling to me, we watched this match. What I thought was puzzling is you had Madison Keys, you had Baptiste, especially Baptiste here. She's a D.C. native, Washington, D.C. native.
Baptiste, yeah.
From the area, but yet during the match, the stands were empty. So a puzzling thing for me for this tournament in Washington, D.C. has been crowd turnout. Has anybody noticed that?
The courts, if you watch it on TV, the courts, I mean, we were just watching the guys play just a second ago, and it was empty seats, a lot of empty seats.
Yeah, furthermore, we were just watching a match a moment ago, writing this show, and Marin Cilic was playing, who we all know
seats.
Has won the U.S. Open,
yeah.
Playing a decent player, and what do we have? We have birds chirping in the stands.
Medvedev, he was playing Medvedev.
Yeah.
We just beat him.
So the puzzling thing is here, too, is this tournament is a big tournament in a way. This is an ATP 500, and I think the women's synonym for 500 is not Premier. I forget what the other one is, but Premier is a 1,000 to the women. But this is still a big tournament, and there are birds chirping in the stands. I find that quite puzzling. I think it's.
I would think that they would have a lot of young people since they're out of school over there. Up in the east area, northern states, northeast area, the kids are out of school. They don't go back till the end of August, September, which is why you get the big crowd at the U.S. Open and at other tournaments. Kids are out of school. Here in the South, we're about to start school, but they are still a few weeks away from going to school.
Yeah, and we had the young Coco Gauff there that played the girl Diaz, who's from Kazakhstan. We watched that match as well. This happened a few days ago. But before that match started, we both agreed that Diaz would beat Coco Gauff. However, the outcome of that match was more like why wasn't the crowd packed in there to see this young 15-year-old phenom that the world's been talking about? And there just wasn't. So what does this tell us about tennis in the U.S.? I mean, is it?
They should have given tickets away. If you can't fill up your seats, I would get a lot of the young. I played at Washington, D.C. When I competed in New York. We had to travel a lot to Washington, D.C. and play a lot of tournaments there. I would have given out tickets to the people on radio shows or something, or mention 10 tickets to the first person that answers this question. I would have given tickets away.
Or give out free tickets.
Free tickets to the younger generation so they can watch players. There was a lot of 17-year-olds in this tournament.
Or simply because we would hope that from a media standpoint, that when I guess global or international television is following it, where it looks like the crowd was involved, there wasn't one.
There still isn't one, and they're in the quarterfinals right now. They're going into the semifinals tomorrow. Another match I have to mention is Lauren Davis beating Eugenie Bouchard 6-1, 6-2. Was a quick match. Bouchard didn't look like much. I mean, I was very shocked that even Lauren Davis would beat her. I thought that maybe they'd go to 3 sets and Bouchard would take it out in the third.
Yeah, I don't think Bouchard looks even that good in general in terms of her Instagram swimsuit modeling. I never even stopped to look at it because that's just not for me. But she looked even worse on the court.
Very frail.
Frail. Looked like maybe she's been partying too much and hasn't put protein back in her body and hasn't been in the gym at all. As much as I wish the best for her, I think her days of even qualifying for a tournament are about to be numbered.
Well, they just gave her another wild card at the Rogers Cup
because
she's Canadian.
She is Canadian. She's Canadian and she's going to sell booty pictures. So I mean, I wouldn't buy them. I don't know too many people that would buy them that I know as tennis players anyway. I think most of the
should stop talking about it that way. Maybe
like Kyrgios, we're still selling tickets, even though Kyrgios has looked pretty good. We'll get into that in a little while.
Lauren Davis went to beat Sofia Kenin in 3 sets, so good for her. And then she went down to another American player, Jessica Pegula from the USA.
A lot of U.S. Young women are moving around, so we'll see what happens in the U.S. Open. This tends to happen during the U.S. Open series prior to the U.S. Open. You have all these tournaments that roll up and down this kind of East Coast and Canadian area. Actually, I say in Canada, their premier event, so I'll retract that. But you have things like D.C. and Atlanta and the list.
Cincinnati, don't we?
Well, Cincinnati's a big one.
Right.
But the smaller tournaments, Atlanta and D.C. and some of these other tournaments, there will be a large portion of the players will be from the U.S.
Well, we have San Jose also going on.
And San Jose is another one. So another kind of smallish type, but very respectable tournament where you'll see a lot of young U.S. talent. Unfortunately, when the majors creep around, generally that talent goes away in the first round or two, but we'll see what happens this next tournament.
Currently, right now in the quarterfinals, we have Georgie versus Diaz, Shea versus McNally, the 17-year-old. Pegula beat Davis today, so moves on to the semifinals. And then we have Mladenovic, who's trying to save herself from losing to a player, Kalinskaya. Never heard of her. I really, these small tournaments don't really make me decide whether I'm going to pick them or not. I usually still go with the more dominant player, the more consistent player. I look at more of a tournament like the Rogers Cup. That's a bigger tournament.
Yeah, I agree totally with that. By the way, this young girl, I don't think she's too terribly young. I think she's in her mid-20s. But Diaz from Kazakhstan that beat Coco Gauff. Much respect to Kazakhstan. We have Potty Mouth Putintseva, Diaz, and we have a couple of men's players from Kazakhstan as well.
She's 25.
So yeah, so she's been around a while, but for countries like Kazakhstan or Belarus with the likes of Azarenka and Sabalenka, which by the way was playing Suarez Navarro today in a semifinal, I think.
But that's at the other tournament, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, we'll get there. But a lot of you laughed at me when Sabalenka from Belarus would win her first major before Naomi Osaka won her next major. I was laughed at. Well, here comes the U.S. Open. Naomi Osaka right now is currently complaining she hasn't had, or not complaining.
Why are we getting to that? So
okay, we'll get there, but we're going to get into that as well.
Yeah, we'll get into that one
but
because
don't laugh too long about my
I'm still
Sabalenka
laughing
pick.
at you, but we'll get there.
Don't-
Why I'm laughing at you?
Whoa, what? Suarez Navarro beat her?
No, she won that match.
Sabalenka won that?
Yes.
Okay, so she's in a final
But she's
now?
won clay tournaments before. She's gotten really far in clay tournaments and lost in the first round. That means nothing.
Fantasy team update teaser for the U.S. Open.
Means nothing,
Look
guys.
look hard at Sabalenka for your fantasy team for the
look
U.S.
really
Open.
hard.
Look hard.
Make sure you don't make a mistake.
Look hard.
On the men's side, we had some interesting players in this tournament. We had Tsonga, who beat Thor, aka Thor Hachinov, who now hired Nikola Davydenko. If you guys watched tennis in the early 2000s, you would remember Davydenko, a Russian tennis player. Really good player.
One of my favorite players of all time, not because of the genius of his game, but overall on his court conduct and how he always approached the game, was Nikolai Davydenko. Davydenko, I think, beat Federer a couple times. I didn't look that up.
2 times, that's it.
So Carla, again, this was kind of written on the fly, so if it's kind of not as good as always, she did her thing, I did mine, and we haven't kind of corresponded with one another about it. But Davydenko is one of my all-time favorite players. Again, not because he's the greatest on the court, but because I've just always enjoyed him as a person, as a player, and now as a coach, right?
He's a very slim, looking fragile little thing. I mean, he wasn't little; he just looked very skinny. But he played well.
Well, he was bald even when he was playing back in the day.
Yeah, made him.
So again, much respect to Davydenko. Hopefully, his coaching career moves forward well. And we'll see what happens. But I wish the best for player and coach here.
So Tsonga ends up losing in the next round to Kyle Edmund, who loses today, who goes down as well. So good little... To Gajewicz, yes.
Yeah.
So good little tournament for Tsonga and Edmund. We also watch another match that I sat down and watched almost the whole thing. Was Felix Auger-Aliassime beats Riley Opelka in 3 sets. I heard the commentator saying Opelka is a better athlete than Felix Auger-Aliassime.
That was funny.
I was like, really? I was like, here's a guy that's almost 7 feet, just has a serve, because I think Felix proved that anytime that they went to a rally, he would win the point. I mean, he won 3 sets. I was happy not to see the Red Bull come out. But then Felix goes down to Marin Cilic in the next round.
Yeah, we watched that match. I forgot about this. I'm glad you wrote that in. No disrespect to Riley Opelka, but his sponsor with Red Bull, it makes no logical sense for the game. Every time Riley Opelka...
Drink a Red Bull if you win.
Every time Riley Opelka wins a match, which generally, no disrespect, the majority of the time is against the subpar player. I guess there's been some upsets with Isner, but same player, just younger, so of course it's going to happen. No disrespect to either player. But every time Riley Opelka wins the match, before the camera gets on him, he reaches in his bag and pulls out a Red Bull. How is that even appropriate for the game in a sense? You might as well pull out a cigarette in the other hand and put the Red Bull in the other one and thank them. Like, who used to thank cigarettes for their wins? Bill Tilden used to say, yeah, I smoke my Camels and I breathe more free now. So if you look back to his lack of knowledge about the perils of tobacco smoke in your lungs, I would assume that Opelka will eventually be looked back upon like, what was that dude thinking? But yeah, you got to pay the bills, and sponsorships are one thing. But during the broadcast of that match, it wasn't just once, but it was multiple times where whoever was commentating, no disrespect to them either, surely they were reading off a sponsored script, was indicating that Riley Opelka was a much better athlete, quote unquote, than Felix Auger-Aliassime. Oh my God! Look, I get he's 7 feet tall. If he was on a basketball court, okay, maybe you can earn that argument. But come on, at 7 feet, no disrespect again, it's really tough to maintain the mobility at all during a point, at all from a longevity standpoint. But best of luck to him but I don't see Riley Opelka getting past the first round or two at the U.S. Open.
I agree with that.
I think
Taylor Fritz has a better chance than him.
I think Felix Auger-Aliassime could very well make a second week.
Yes, he has a lot of potential. I don't pick him going too far because he couldn't beat Marin Cilic. Marin Cilic took him out pretty quickly. It wasn't really a competitive match, so I expected him to win that match, but it didn't happen. We have Raonic, who played this tournament, who went down to YTEX as well. Tsitsipas will be playing tonight against Benoit Paire. And Kyrgios is into the quarterfinals, playing a player named Norbert Gombos from Slovakia, a 28-year-old. And YTEX takes out Edmund. We already talked about that. So a good tournament for the men. Some big names there.
You know, you mentioned Milos Raonic. I try to be a fan of Milos, and I do like him. I really do. However, I find one of his problems is his really extreme service grip. I know he's got a blistering serve. I know that. But has anyone ever noticed the extreme grip? That racket is almost kicked all the way around backwards when he serves. Has anyone ever noticed that, or is it just me?
No, it's funky looking. Yeah.
It's got a really awkward grip there. And I understand he's one of the best big servers on tour, but it really hasn't been the case here, as at least as far as of late, right?
Right.
I think that I thought that Milos would have a real good shot at Wimbledon, and I think he still may have a decent shot at the U.S. Open. But I think that Raonic can make a second week, though. What do you think?
Oh, sure, he can make a second week.
I think Milos is...
He's more of a consistent player that makes it into the second week.
He might be a good pick for fantasy. Again, he's Canadian, and Canada's not too terribly far from New York. So he might be a good selection for your fantasy team as well.
All right, on to the San Jose Silicon Valley Classic. On the quarterfinals, as he mentioned, Aryna Sabalenka beat Carla Suarez Navarro. Before she got there, she beat Coco Vandeweghe, who is back from injury. So, I mean, a decent match, I would say.
Isn't Coco Vandeweghe coached by Pat Cash?
I think so, yes.
I think so. I would be curious to this relationship at this point in time from player to coach. Coco Vandeweghe, like Danielle Collins, another American player, a college player with a good story that was kind of pushed away in a sense from Florida, didn't even play on the team, transferred, and the rest is history. But Danielle Collins and Coco Vandeweghe, to me, are very similar in attitude. They're very feisty. They're very quick to get upset, etc. I don't think that Coco Vandeweghe has a shot at the second week of the U.S. Open. She
just came back. She's been injured for a long time. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, this is a pre-U.S. Open discussion. This is all relevant to this U.S. Open. I don't think this year Coco Vandeweghe has a crying chance at winning a round or two, just because, again, she's been off.
I agree.
Also, too, because of attitude. We talk about court conduct a lot. Coco Vandeweghe has always had a very kind of, I don't want to say this on camera, but on a kind of snappy, let's say snappy attitude. Just like Danielle Collins. Danielle Collins is a very snappy girl, and they get fired up.
I like Collins.
I don't.
I like Collins.
I don't care for their attitude.
I mean, there was a match she was playing against, Shuai Zhang.
Well, she played two Zhang. She played a Zhang and a Zhang.
She lost to Zhang, but she beat
lost
Zhang.
To Zhang.
But there was where she sat down during their break, and the I guess the chairman tells him, "Hey, Zhang's box is scared of you. Please, like, relax."
Yeah, I mean, look.
She's like, "What do you mean? Everybody's scared of something."
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. Collins is on court. She's like slamming balls around, yelling, screaming, whatever, doing her normal deal, as we have seen Vandeweghe do as well throughout her career. And it's just not a pretty sight. And you know, you come from some countries where that's just not, part of the norm. Here in the U.S., it's acceptable to see Kyrgios making gestures on the sidelines with a water bottle.
Why would you even do that then?
I'm just saying, but what's the difference of watching something like that and Danielle Collins screaming and sound like she's fixing to just destroy the stands or something?
I don't know if that's her
what's the difference?
I think that's her way of pumping herself up. I don't approve. I wouldn't want my daughters to act that way. I mean, I enjoy Collins. I understand her story. She started tennis a little bit later. She didn't go to academies like most players did. I mean, she had to fight her way through it. So I can tell, sometimes when someone's pushed against the wall, that's how they react. That's just how they react.
Okay, there's a big difference of being the old saying, don't, back a dog into a corner. She's not a dog. She's a human being. Yeah.
She just doesn't know how to...
You don't want to, okay, because you...
She doesn't know how to act. She doesn't know how to act. She doesn't know how to control her emotions.
If you back a rabid dog into a corner that hadn't eaten in a month, it might snap at you. Agree or disagree?
Yes, agree.
However, if you back Danielle Collins into a corner, or sometimes Vandeweghe, they might snap at you too. So are you saying that it's okay for these girls?
It's not okay. No.
It's not okay.
It's definitely
so
not
I don't
okay.
see how you can like them in the first place.
I didn't say I like Coco Vandeweghe. I like Danielle Collins because I like her story. It's somebody that went to school, fought her way through, and is playing the Pro Tour. I think that's a great example to kids who are going to college, and you still have a chance at the Pro Tour. That's what I like. That's the side I like. And I like her game. Her game is aggressive. I like that type of tennis. I always say grinders get hurt quick. Their careers are short. I've never enjoyed watching a grinder play.
Okay, I'll ask you a couple questions real quick, Carla.
Sure.
Do you ever, when you play someone on the court, Carla, which has been thousands of matches, do you ever go, come on, let's go, when someone double faults?
Never.
Never?
No.
Okay, well, your girl does. Number two.
He did in a point, but go ahead.
Playing you? Carla, do you ever did you ever make other players that you face, their coaches and their boxes, scared and have to complain to the umpire about it?
No, I never looked at anybody.
But your girl does.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, how can you like someone when it's the complete anti of you?
I don't know. I like her game. I guess I like her game.
No disrespect to the girl.
How do you like Kyrgios? How do you like Kyrgios when you're all against that?
I don't... look, Kyrgios isn't my favorite player.
But you like him.
But I understand where he comes from.
Ah, so I understand where she comes from. There you go.
All right, well, you call me on that.
I don't agree with what she does. Totally wrong.
Okay, so you hope Collins does well, and I still hope after all these years that Kyrgios does well.
I think he'll do well from watching him.
All right.
All right, so on the quarters, we have Svitolina and Sakari. They're currently playing right now. That's your quarterfinals match. Svitolina looks like she's about to win the match.
Hey, did anybody see the pictures of Svitolina and Monfils, and they're kind of like...
They look cute.
Hey, good-looking couple. Good-looking couple. I've always loved Monfils. One of the best that never was, and it's still not over. But he's found someone that looks.
Hey, they look like they spice things up for each other. So
yeah, and let's be real. When you have a significant other, and that person can compete with you for the rest of your life on a tennis court, which is what you bleed and have grown to do, is it not a benefit?
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Let's get down.
All right, Donna Vekic had a good match last night against Azarenka. Azarenka had the possibilities of winning that match, but a lot of unforced errors. I know you watched this match.
Yeah, I watched this match from ball strike to ball strike. This was a good match for Vekic, first of all. Notice how I didn't say it was a good match for Azarenka. First of all, I like Azarenka, but I cannot turn the volume up when she plays. Her screech is just ridiculous.
6'4", 6'3", wow.
Yeah, so Azarenka was just off. She was off. I had the volume off as well. The volume was off, and she was off. And Vekic played a really good match, by the way. It was nice to hear that Vekic started out her young career as a gymnast, and that her entourage or family, whatever, at that young age, realized that she was going to be too tall, not my words, but their words, too tall to be, I guess, a spot-on gymnast. Maybe some of you internationally that know more about gymnastics and height can communicate more with us on that. But she kind of morphed into a tennis player. So and then,
she started playing young. She was 6.
Yeah, and then hooked up with Wawrinka, and they split up, and maybe her split up with her caused her to beat Azarenka, but I don't think so, because Azarenka was off. Azarenka reminded me last night when she played of Tsitsipas in a way. You know, Tsitsipas kind of gets out there and just hits everything. You know, here's a shot, oh, I'm going to hit it. Here's another shot, oh, I'm going to hit it. Here's another shot, I'm going to hit it. Azarenka was going for everything, and everything was missing, and she never changed her game up. She just did not. Vekic kept steady and stayed precise with her shots and her placements, and Azarenka still just went for everything. And
they're both good picks.
Lost.
They're both good picks for the U.S. Open now.
Well, based upon the way Azarenka played last night, I don't think I would choose her on my fantasy team, because she'll be ranked outside the top 20, which is 2 points per win. And I don't think if Azarenka can't even pressure Vekic consistently, that I would pick her on my fantasy
You have
team.
off weeks and on weeks. She's playing at the Rogers Cup. I'm going to watch how she does in the next few tournaments, but I would pick Azarenka. And Vekic is another good pick.
Vekic is a good pick.
Another young player, Amanda Anisimova, is in the quarters against Saisa Zhang. So that's another match that's going on tonight.
It's a good match. I'm going to watch that one.
Yeah. The match, though, that I enjoyed watching was the first round of Bethany Maddox-Sands, which is
Love that match. I'm going to check the camera real quick.
Bethany Maddox-Sands played against Venus Williams. Both were wild cards. Both are veteran tennis players. This was actually a fun, late match. Went on to the third set. Venus had her chance in the second set. Don't know what happened, and Bethany just took her out in the third set pretty quickly.
Yeah, she mentioned my sister, longtime tennis player, used to be a junior champion, loves Bethany Maddox-Sands. I have kind of struggled with loving Bethany Maddox-Sands for a lot of years.
I actually became a fan of hers after she got injured and started commentating. I said, okay, she understands tennis.
Yeah, I never was a fan of the flamboyant outfits and the knee-high socks, etc. It just wasn't for me. Once she got injured, though, and I realized what she went through with the injury, outfits aside, then she got into the commentating booth.
Smart.
A really classy commentator. She made me want to turn the volume up on tennis matches when she was there. Generally, what we will do is Carla and I, if we're watching tennis, we don't need to hear the other commentators because we coach and have played it our entire lives. We would just prefer not to hear the politically driven or biased commentary because we know sponsors bias that. So we generally just turn it down or put maybe live app on where it's like a commentator from the actual place and we just kind of correspond it with what we're watching on television. Because television commentating is generally just bogus, woogus, who gives a blank, it's just awful. But when Bethany Maddox-Sands was commentating, it really kind of rebirthed my desire to listen to commentators from her perspective. I guess you could say no one else's but hers. There's a few other ones, but you could tell she's not kind of selling herself out to read the prompter. You know what I mean?
Right. She understands the game.
So she understands the game and is just herself. And I really enjoyed watching that match, and I really wish the best for her. Do I think she'll make a second week of the U.S. Open? No.
I don't think Venus will either.
I think at this point
I think Venus' career is pretty much done.
Yeah, and I'm a big Venus fan. Believe me, I'm a staunch Venus Williams fan. But I think it's not in either one of them's inventory to make the second week of the U.S. Open. Not this year.
Not this year or next year.
Look,
I mean, they're getting older. Venus is, what, 38, 39?
Yeah, and
39?
Serena herself, again, I'm a huge Serena fan too, but she is nearly...
Time is ticking for all of them.
She is nearly not going to be on a fantasy team to get into the second week of the U.S. Open. I mean, come on. Since the loss to Roberta Vinci, wasn't it Vinci that beat her at the U.S. Open in the semifinals?
Long time ago,
yeah. I mean, but if you can lose that one, it's always been...
But she did win the Australian Open pregnant.
Well, I understand that. But in New York, after losing to Vinci in that semi, it's been really tough for me to pick Serena at all in New York.
The time.
Well, again, I'm a staunch fan. I love her game, and I think she will... very well may make the final of the U.S. Open, but I don't know if I'm willing to risk her as a finalist for a tennis racket, though. I just don't. I'll
pick her. I've seen pictures of her lately, and she looks in better shape. I'll definitely.
I hope so. But again, her time is ticking.
Sure.
Her time is ticking.
It definitely is. She's about to be 38. Yes, I know. Okay, Rogers Cup. That's going to be a tournament we're going to cover every single day, right?
Oh, no. Usually it's me talking about when a big tournament comes up. We're going to cover it every day, and she gives me grief about it. Now Carla just came out with we're going to cover the Rogers Cup every day.
Well, we are. It's a big tournament. We got big names. We know Kvitova drops out of this tournament due to arm injury. Probably smart. You know, she doesn't need to play too much tennis.
Well, yeah, I was sorry to hear about Kvitova withdrawing from yet another tournament. However, that doesn't change my mind about anything. I think Petra will be very dangerous at the U.S. Open.
I agree. Yeah.
I can assure you she'll be on my fantasy team.
Yeah, me too. Tsonga gets a wild card. Good for him. Bouchard, Sharapova, they get wild cards. And we'll have Bianca Andreescu playing. We haven't seen her in a long time. She'll be playing at this tournament. A few names: Anisimova, Azarenka, Barty, Benchik, Bertans, Halep, Kenin. We have Kasatkina, Kerber, Keys, Mertens, Osaka, Ostapenko, Sabalenka, Sharapova, Sakari, Stevens, Vekic, Serena, Venus. They'll all be playing, and there's quite a few more. So this is a big tournament on the women's side.
Big time tournament. Unfortunately, we have Del Potro still coming back from injury on the men's side. Djokovic is out. Federer's out. I think Nadal.
Smart for them. Nadal's the only one playing.
Smart for them. I get it. But the women's side of this Ryder's Cup, which by the way, I think it's in 2 different cities. I think the men play in Montreal and the women play in Toronto.
Yes.
So I'm more excited about the women's Ryder's Cup than I am the men's.
Well, there's still big names at the men's. You're going to have Felix Auger-Aliassime, Bashvili, Roberto Bautista Agut, Cilic, Chorich, Dimitrov, Jiri, Edmund, Fognini, Fritz, Garin, Goffin, Hachinov, Kyrgios, Wawrinka, Zverev, Tsitsipas, TM, Shapovalov, Raonic, Nadal, Monfils, Medvedev, Lajovic. So you still got some big names there.
Okay, let me rephrase that. So for the men,
just because Federer and Djokovic are 9 and he's not going to watch it.
No. If all goes well and Rafael Nadal gives 100%.
He needs to win this, don't you?
She's on fire today. Now she just threw us under the bus for everyday shows during the Rogers Cup. Man, I was all talking about we don't really get any payoff for doing it every day, so why would we do it? But she's aggressive. Let's go. I love that. Let's get down. Let's go. But let's be real. If Nadal gives 100%, if he does, and I don't think he will.
Why wouldn't he? He has to defend his points. He won it last year.
I have a neighbor and the boat motor just turned on, and if we finish the show with that boat motor, you're not going to hear it. So, hey, we live in a duplex. That's how we roll. So I got to hit stop on the camera for right now. You agree?
I agree.
So where do we leave off?
About Nadal playing the Rogers Cup.
Nadal not giving 100%, okay? So Nadal if he gives and if Nadal does not. I'm going to hit stop here, and we'll finish it in a minute, okay? All right, let's go. All thanks to the bass boat. Or that's actually a saltwater boat. Okay. All right. The boat motor is off, so we're going to start right back where we left off. So
last year we dealt with
weed eaters, lawnmowers. Now we got a boat. Let's go. Come on. We'll finish the topic on Nadal at this tournament. The fact of the matter is I do not see why Rafael Nadal would put 100% into this tournament. I get that he won the tournament last year.
Right.
I understand that Simona Halep won it last year.
Sure.
I don't think that either one of them will put in 100% potential injury-risking type athleticism into this tournament. Okay? So, if...
Why wouldn't they, though? I mean, you have...
Because Nadal's worth $100, $200, $300 million.
Djokovic last year who won Cincinnati, wanted to win Cincinnati.
He's not playing it this year, is he?
Yes, he is.
Djokovic is... Oh, no, I'm not talking about Cincinnati. I'm talking about... Why are you talking about Cincinnati? We're talking about Montreal.
But why wouldn't you put your all if you are the champion?
Yeah,
the U.S. Open is still weeks away.
Look, the fumes from the boat motor messed her head up. Because before we stopped the camera, we were talking about Montreal. Now you're talking about Djokovic and Cincinnati.
I'm just saying that obviously these guys win some tournaments. So, of course, they want to defend
We
those
were
points.
talking about...
He wants to have another Masters tournament.
We were talking about Rafael Nadal giving 100% effort, or if he didn't, in Montreal.
He'll give 100% effort.
Okay, then that means he's going to win the tournament. That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I'm saying if Rafael Nadal gives 100% in Montreal, then he's going to win the tournament. Because no one that can beat him is there. You going to tell me Tsitsipas is going to beat him if he's given 100%? Tsitsipas has beat him before.
Haven't you said that Nadal is beatable on hardcourt?
The question here is if Rafael Nadal gives 100%, 100%, not 99%, not 92%, not 68%.
You need to calm down. Calm down. It's okay.
You're out in left field. Are you telling me with Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer out of the tournament?
Yes, he'll win it.
If Rafael Nadal gives 100%,
he'll win it.
that he won't win it.
He should win it.
So can you agree with me then? Now finally, because you're a woman from Venus and I'm from Mars, can now you agree with me that if your boy Rafael Nadal gives 100%,
he should win? Yes,
he should win.
Absolutely.
And why is it interesting then? Because if he doesn't give 100%, then we'll see a new winner, or a winner that's not the big three, rather.
Well, it'll be another Masters tournament to his whatever.
I mean, Woogus, who gives a blank?
Calm down.
If Nadal is 100% effort, 100%, there's no one at that tournament that can beat.
Calm down.
Because we went around the world on this drama for you just to agree with me. Why does it have to be that way? And look, if you had this to deal with this all the time, we agree now. But we had to go through around our elbow and around our booties, around 3 times around my butt, around my big toe to come back through my left ear, wrap it around my face, hang me up with a dang piece of string by my big toe, and now we agree. I mean, is that what we got to do all the time? Because I was right. Now you agree.
Do you have fun in this relationship?
I have a lot of fun.
Okay, well there you go.
But ultimately, was
you
it?
Want me to say yes, master?
No, master.
Thank you.
But let's be real. Let's be real. Where I was going, you agree with me, but you had to battle with me the whole way.
Whatever. What you're saying is that he's not going to put 100%. I'm saying that he is.
I'm saying that it would be naive for him at 30 whatever years old to
32,
put in
33.
to put in 100% when you got his nemesises in the likes of Djokovic and Federer taking time off. Are you going to tell me he wants to potentially risk all his tweaks and finessing his water bottles and digging in his butt and all that stuff? Are you telling me he wants to have excess butt digging at this tournament? Because he might get butt chafe. Have you ever had butt chafe? If he picks on his butt too much, he will get chafed. And if he gets chafed, can he move that butt so quick? Ooh, pain. Because he digs in his butt so much. He's a butt digger. Fact. Tell me he's not a butt digger.
Justin, stop.
He's a butt digger. So, if he gives 100%, he will win the tournament. Go ahead and give him the trophy. The only suspect...
This is hard court. It's not clay, so... I mean, he does have a positive. You never know.
Montreal won't be as interesting because... If Nadal...
Federer's not in it.
Because there's no one that can beat Nadal if he gives 100%.
Okay.
There's just not. Disagree or agree? Whatever. Moving forward. He's a butt picker. Fact.
That's because he's got a butt. But anyway.
Shoot, he got nothing on this butt.
He got nothing. Anyway.
Oh, I got nothing.
Let's get to the next topic.
Let's go.
Because it's becoming just...
All right, topic number 3, which I think you had.
It was 4 now.
Well, we had Lindell.
Topic 4 is Lindell.
That's the number 3 right there. Can you... She's.
Topic number 3. Ivan Lendl splits with Alexander Zverev while he's playing Hamburg. Right after, Zverev said that Lendl did not pay enough attention to him, paid more attention to his dog, and talked about how he did at golf. Lendl pretty much let go of him instead of the other way. Zverev actually found out through the social outlets that he was no longer coached by Lendl.
You know what I thought was funny though? Because here's this 22-year-old kid that's we've talked about before. We won't get into all this. He's a good kid, but man, is he bratty. And then starts harping on some legend or Hall of Famer about he's talking about golf and his dog. But you know what I thought was funny though? This is comical. As soon as Lendl says, "I'm done with this kid. I'm done. Forget it." Boris Becker comes out of nowhere and says, "I'm not coaching him either. I'm out." Boris Becker comes out of nowhere and said, "Don't call me."
Don't call him, yeah. But Lendl does say, I have a lot of belief in Sasha, who is still very young. Lendl said, according to tennis journalist Craig Gabriel, "I think that one day he may become a great player, but currently he has some off-court issues that make it difficult to work in a way that is consistent with my philosophy."
I think my 7-year-old daughter, Gabriella, who is very princessy, whines less. Furthermore, I think it's quite comical, honestly, that Boris Becker, who, by the way, is one of my favorite tennis players of all time.
Well, Becker said he's not going to travel around the world for 30 weeks again.
That's the nice way of saying get lost.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, they had different personalities. I mean, they didn't match. They just didn't match us.
Different personalities.
Justin, we just talked about this. When you hire a coach, you have to have a good relationship on and off court. It seems like Lendl was never really there with him.
Carlos, let's role play. You be Sasha Zverev and I'll be Lendl. Actually, let's flip-flop that. You be Lendl and I'll be Zverev. I want you to tell me, hey, you might want to come to the net sometimes and learn how to play the net. Will you tell me that?
Sasha, you need to come to the net.
No, I'm not doing that. Are you serious? This game's changed. I'm not coming to the net. I won't do it. Whatever. Get lost.
I mean, we all saw this coming, right? I think we all knew that eventually Lendl would leave. I don't think that Zverev was ever going to fire Lendl. We knew he would leave. He doesn't have to hang around this kid. He has enough money. He's a legend in the game.
He's got a dog to take care of.
He doesn't really need this.
He's got golf strokes to work on. Yeah, I mean, if you
These top pros that are now legends, they don't need to coach any of these guys.
Yeah, if you have to hone in on your golf skills
You don't need
and
to.
take care of your dog or listen to a 22-year-old, 3-year-old whine in your ear, what are you going to take? I mean, I'm taking my dog.
And it seems to me like his dad has a lot of influence still in his game. Perhaps he needs to get away from that. Not every parent is a good tennis coach. Like one day, our daughter will get to a certain level that I will have to say, you know what? I need to hire a coach for her, and I need to step back and not say anything.
Maybe Sasha or Alexander Zverev and Donald Young should pair up as a doubles team and let their parents run the show.
Could be. Not all the parents. It worked for some parents. But even then, they end up hiring coaches. Graf stayed with her dad for a while, but then ended up hiring another coach. I mean, so it works in the beginning, but you always need some other advice, some refreshing advice, you know?
Okay, so here's a factual question. Carla and I, again, we have 5 kids. I think you all know that, hence the name. We have 5 kids. Carla, here's a true or false question, and answer it honestly.
Okay.
Carla, we teach our own 5 kids and a lot of other kids. How much better would our own 5 children be if we weren't their only coaches?
A million times better.
A million times better.
I wish like some of the people that we talked to would coach them because they would listen a lot more. My dad proved this. He would coach me. Another coach would come and I'd listen to the same thing that my dad said to me with that coach, and I would improve quicker.
I wish I had Lyndall's dog coaching my kids sometimes because we're like, hit the ball here and then hit there and then read the feet and then move here, then move there. And they're like, wah, wah, wah. But when you interact your own kids with other coaches, they don't rebel like that because they're raised well enough not to. However, when mom and dad are the coaches, it's rebellion.
It's tough.
It's rebellion.
Tough.
It's like
it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
It does not work for everybody.
It's like you got an imperial.
I say there's maybe a 10-20% of it works, but I still think that if you teach your kids or you brought them to a certain level, you need to step back and let somebody else give them new ideas.
Yeah. So,
you need it. You need it. There will be one day where you and I will have to say, wait a minute, we need to hire somebody and take a step back.
Unfortunately, money doesn't grow on trees, so that's a fairy tale. However,
it will happen though. If Lily got better or Gabriela or somebody and we saw the potential in them, then
our 10-year-old has the potential and athleticism and the muscles naturally, i.e. Carla genetics, to be a star, but unfortunately there's too much pouting that goes down because mom and dad are coaching them, and that's unfortunate. Anyway, another story for another day, but again, maybe Donald Young and Sasha Zverev can team up with their parents and see how far their doubles career will take them.
Sure.
Moving forward.
All right.
Topic number 4 has to do with Naomi Osaka, indicating that she has not had any fun playing tennis since the Australian Open. Carla?
Yeah, she said, quote, I probably haven't had fun playing since Australian. Has been the worst months of her life, she said. Well, it's kind of tough to be in a great mood when you're losing a lot, right? I mean, we know she got rid of her coach after the Australian Open, Sasha Bajin, and hired a new coach. And ever since then, things have not been going well for her.
So, look, I should have set this up better, sorry.
But you know what? That's part of life. You have to learn how to get through losses. You can't always win.
I see. I yes and no.
But she has a lot of growing up to do as well, in my opinion.
Look, she's not a baby anymore.
But I still pick her for the U.S. Open.
To win it?
I think she'll do well.
I disagree. Naomi Osaka will not be on my fantasy team whatsoever. I'm not saying that she's going to win it.
I think she will do well.
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. I think there's too many big hitters, such as Kvitova,
she's a big hitter herself. Who's going to beat her? Sabalenka?
But I'm just saying there's too many big hitters at this tournament for the last major of this 2019 season. That too many that don't have the mental anguish that she has now. First of all, number 1, I understand that sometimes tennis doesn't get fun. I've played it for 39 years. I'm 41. I was born into it. I began it too. There's a lot of times where I didn't want to play anymore. Believe me, Carla, has there been times where you didn't want to play anymore?
I stopped playing when I was 15. My dad said, okay.
Okay.
And then I came back to it.
Anyway, I get being disgruntled because you were born to do it, you've been raised in it, and now you're just burnout. I get it, okay? Mm-hmm. Some people, number 2, don't do too well with pressure. They react differently. Some people kind of clam up and fade away. Some people meet the pressure and want to go, right? Some people take pressure in different ways. Some people, it fires them up, and some people, it pushes them away.
Sure.
How Naomi Osaka beat Serena in the U.S. Open, was incredible to me. I get the ending was a debacle. And then she furthered that by winning the Australian Open. She hit the #1 ranking in the world, and here's sponsors, and here's rap star boyfriends, and the limelight, and she clammed up and went away in a sense. I understand that. We talked about that. Every one of you out there, at least the majority of you, laughed at me after she won the Australian Open, and I said this, and you can find the show. I don't know where it is. It's in our playlist.
They get on our case about
you got on my case too.
About what?
About me saying that after the Australian Open, when she started talking about video gaming,
no, I said
and started
after
hanging out with her,
I said that her game would never be the same again.
Do I need to find the show and bring it back up?
Let's find the show, because I never went against you. No. I never went against you.
You haven't let me finish talking. I said this after Naomi Osaka tied up with some DJ boyfriend and started talking about her Fortnite video game tournaments or whatever. I said, and all of you that have been with this channel for a while, remember that Aryna Sabalenka would win her next major, or would win her first major before Naomi Osaka won her next. You laugh at me. I'm not saying either one of them. I'm not saying either one of them will win a major again. I just said that if one of them wins a major next, it would be Sabalenka. And everyone laughed at me.
It's still laughable.
So you're going to tell me right now that you think Naomi Osaka is in the frame of mind to win another major soon?
Not soon, but she'll win another one.
Before, it was like it's going to happen immediately, and you're crazy for talking about Sabalenka.
No. I said after that happened with her splitting of her coach, I said things are going to go down for her because it was working. Why get rid of something that's working, even if there's something that you don't like, or maybe what he's saying, or maybe, I don't know what happened there.
People laugh at my outlandish picks until they happen.
Sabalenka is funny, just like some other picks that you've had that are really hilarious.
Isn't Sabalenka fixing to be in the final of...
Who cares? She was just in the semifinals of a clay tournament and lost in the first round.
I gotta deal with this.
Who cares?
A second ago,
Who did she beat that was big? Coco Vandeweghe?
She beat Suarez Navarro today.
Ooh, that's huge. That's huge on hard court.
Who did Osaka beat? She didn't even play.
She's playing a bigger tournament.
Bigger what? Bigger nothing at home Fortnite?
Let's see what happens at Rogers Cup where Sabalenka's
Hold
playing.
up.
Sabalenka's playing at Rogers Cup, so is Osaka. Want to make a bet who goes further?
Well, Sabalenka's playing now when she isn't.
Want to make a bet who goes further in that tournament?
I'll take that. What's the bet? Let's go.
I don't know. You guys decide.
Okay, here's the bet. Whoever can come up with the best idea for the Montreal bet between Carla and I right now. I got Sabalenka going farther in that tournament than Osaka, Fortnite, Naomi.
Sure.
Naomi, Fortnite, Osaka.
I'm confident about this one.
Shoot. I'm ready. Next topic. Gee, you pumped me up, man. Woo! Like Ric Flair. Get down. Better be lucky I beat you 6-1, 6-1 last time we played, Carlita. Moving forward, and that's fact.
Justin, you mentioned this in the last show, and actually we played, it was 5-0 and you got injured.
Oh, I forgot about that. It was still...
Yeah, so stop. I don't even like Brian. Come on now, chill.
Topic number 5. An American player, a college player from Notre Dame, Alex Lebedev, vomited on court. The heat got the best of him. And this was, I forget the tournament, but he...
It was a challenger tournament.
Yeah, he fought really hard, made it into real close into the second set, got really hot, started throwing up on the court, and ultimately lost the match. The only reason why we want to bring this up is as coaches, this is all due seriousness. This is not a funny topic whatsoever. Fitness on the tennis court is everything.
It was in Lexington. It was an ATP Challenger Tour match in Lexington, Kentucky.
So we're just going to spend a minute or two on this about the heat. No matter who you are, where you go, the sun and the heat can play a very deadly game with all of us. This is a quick thing, a quick topic about the sun and about the heat and being trained to know when is enough. First of all, the sun has brutalized my face. I've had basal cell carcinomas cut out of my head and out of my nose, almost taking out my right eye. That's no joke. The sun can be brutal, number one, from a burning your skin perspective. I encourage everyone to protect their skin from the sun. However, the heat as well, when we are not fitness ready or acclimated to the heat, can cause death and cause death quickly. all due respect to this young kid, Alex Lebedev, when it came time for him to throw up on the court was a time where I think the tournament and the organizers themselves should have called the match, kind of like a boxer getting pounded in the ring. They've been knocked down, get back up. I can't even swing straight, knocked down, but they're still letting him fight on. The kid lost the match, but he could have lost his life if this match would have gone on much longer. Thank goodness it did not. But we, Carla, as students, am I right or wrong, come across some students, no names or it doesn't matter, but Carla and I coach in extreme heat sometimes, 110, 120 degrees heat index on the court with no shade. We've done it for many, many years, but some people, again, are new to that, and they can be taxed quickly. We've had people throw up, Carla. We've had people's eyes go cuckoo. We've had people's thoughts become problematic. And what's the first thing that we do, Carla? Ice them down, shade, they're done. Let's get you cool, and let's get you cool now. Yeah. I bring this up simply because, number one, becoming acclimated to heat is highly important, hence why people like Roger Federer, for instance, will train in Dubai certain parts of the year so they can be heat ready, and he's not the only one. But be careful when you're in the heat. I thought this was a subpar reaction from the tournament, this Challenger tournament that this kid was playing in. He's out there throwing up on the court. The ball boys and girls are out there cleaning up the puke, and he's having to apologize for it, but yet the match is
he shouldn't have continued playing.
The match was led on to continue. This was ridiculous. Hopefully that young man is well, and he recovered from his heat, a close to death experience. And if people look at it and laugh, then you're just naive as well. But when you have heat, sweltering heat, and you have a player vomiting on the court, and we just push him aside and clean it up and say, match, carry on, I think the tournament directors and everyone there, coaches, safety staff, first aid, paramedics, whatever, should be very apologetic for their just absolute stupid, and I never use that word, it's a really bad word, stupid, just stupid reaction to someone that could have gone on longer, could have died. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. But when you have someone throwing up on any field to play and it's hot, stop the match. Stop the boxing match. Stop it. Because someone can absolutely be killed. Poor reaction. Okay? All right, 12 rapid-fire questions. If you're new to this channel, I'm going to ask 12 questions. Carla has not seen them. You have not seen them, so we must answer quickly. So type the answers in. We always review them and always get a kick out of the responses, all right? So here we go with 12 rapid-fire questions. First question is now. You ready, Carla?
Let's go.
Question number 1. True or false? The crowd turnout for the current Washington, D.C. tournament, including both men and women, and it's a 500, a high level, has been the lowest I have ever seen.
False. New York Open was lower.
We did not talk about this. I wrote that. False. The New York Open, the inauguration year for the New York Open, which was an indoor tournament where I think Opelka and Isner played in the final last year. Great job. Same brainwave.
Did they play the final? I don't think they did.
Whatever.
No,
it was some match within it, but geez.
It was bad, yeah. That was the worst.
That was the worst. I mean, you're in like New York City and the place is empty.
And the courts were like gray. It was weird.
Yeah. Anyway, I would agree with you. New York Open was the worst. Pretty ugly situation, though, in D.C. with empty stadiums moving into the final rounds. Yeah. Question number 2. Your favorite video game of all time is what?
The original Super Mario Brothers.
Now, by the way,
the Mario 3 was good, when you could fly.
No, that was Mario 2.
Was Mario 2 where you could fly?
Well,
I don't remember. And it had the raccoon outfit.
I think that was 3. My favorite video game of all time would be RC Pro-Am on the original Nintendo or Contra on the original Nintendo. Question number 3. If I had to do one of these things, it would be A, drive a remote control car. Love that. B, fly a drone. Love that too. A little complex for me. C, play a board game. D, read a book. Or E, play on my cell phone. Which one would it be?
Play on a cell phone.
Shoot. Me, I'm going with RC car. I would go with drone, but the controls in the video is tough for me to
Board
undertake.
game would be number 2 for me.
Drive an RC car. Let's go. Radio control car, gas power. Let's go. RC10s. Get down. Question number 4. How far does Grigor Dimitrov go at the U.S. Open?
Round 2.
I give him a 4th round.
Okay.
Question number 5. How far does Victoria, the Screecher Azarenka, go at the U.S. Open?
Quarterfinals.
No, I give her third round. Third round for Vicky.
Okay.
For Vika.
It's New York.
Question number 6. Would you rather, A, listen to Victoria Azarenka screech while playing tennis, or B, gnaw off your own finger?
I'll listen to her screech. I'm not gnawing off my own finger.
I don't know. I'm searching for topical anesthesia to gnaw off my finger. Question number 7. I personally am a huge NBA, that's National Basketball Association. I'm a huge NBA fan. I've been an LA Lakers fan since birth, long before LeBron James. Mm-hmm. However, is LeBron getting a lot of negative, unnecessary bashing and heat here as of recently?
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Leave the guy alone.
Leave him alone.
Jeez.
He'll be just fine.
If he was like Urgos, I would understand, but he's not.
Don't give a dude like LeBron James fuel to make him a fighter, because he will straight up dunk on
Let's
you
go.
or pull some of that Celtics Game 7 block. He will just chill, because homeboy can play. Mm-hmm. Homeboy can play. Not like Jordan though. Jordan's my man, but watch out. All right, question number 8. I am not a big TV watcher, television. There are very few things on television I watch, by the way. Mm-hmm. In terms, though, of television, what is your favorite TV series of all time?
Jeez, I don't... TV series? Like a show?
A series.
I gotta say, you got me hooked into Lost. I didn't watch it on TV.
Lost,
I got
baby.
to watch it when it was on DVD.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Lost there. Mm-hmm. Lost was an 8-season... type show.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Very sci-fi, kept me involved the whole way. Definitely Lost. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Question number 9. Choose one of the following. A, night. B, day. Or C, morning.
I'm a morning person now.
I'm going morning too. Let's go. 5:30 in the morning.
I used to be a night person, but I'm a morning person.
I got sunshine.
Now I go to sleep at 9. It's 9 o'clock at night. I'm in bed.
Question number 10. Your favorite type or color of apples is what?
Green.
Granny Smith green. Let's go. Come on, Granny Smith. Love those Granny Smith.
The sour, the more bitter they are, the better.
Question number 11. What would you rather have? A very well done fruit bowl, or B, a very well done steak?
I'll go with the fruit bowl.
I'm
not a big steak person.
10 years ago, I would have gone with the steak, but I think I'll take my protein a little bit differently as I age.
Same here.
And I'll definitely go with the
well done
fruit bowl.
I would have gone with the steak. Yeah.
So I'm talking like raspberries, mangoes, kiwis, a really well done watermelon, blueberries. I'm talking a well done fruit bowl versus a well done steak.
Right.
20 years ago, steak. Now I'm going fruit bowl.
Right.
Question number 12. This is an important one. I saw a bumper sticker the other day that read the following, quote, I'd rather be fishing, okay? I saw a bumper sticker that read, and I quote, I'd rather be fishing, okay? If, though, you had your own bumper sticker that read, I'd rather be doing blank, or I'd rather be doing something,
You really asking that?
What would that something be?
I'd rather be playing tennis, of course.
I'd rather be looking at you.
Okay, thank you.
Muy bonita mamacita with 5 niños. Tell me that wasn't right on. Tell me that wasn't right on with my Espanol. Jugar. I'm not meant to play. Habla. Let's go.
Stop. Just stop.
Shoot. Muy bonita mamacita es demasiado.
Okay, just stop. Next question. That's horrible. Next question.
Shoot. Bonus question. Here we go. Bonus question. Here we go. Does extraterrestrial life exist?
No.
It does.
No.
I've seen it. I've seen those guys.
Yeah, right.
Shoot.
And if they do, who cares?
Ask them to hit some tennis balls.
Who cares?
I think extraterrestrial life exists.
Alrighty.
All right. That's it, everyone. Much love to all of you. Thanks so much, as always, to personal friend Ivor Savage, who is the owner of YTEX Strings. That from the very onset of his stringing company, he's made stringing personal. Enough about just playing with something. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But for someone that wants to get to know you as a person, as a player, and offer or recommend things that are best for you, I think it's a paradigm shift in stringing. And I don't just say that.
Check them out. If
Check
you're
them out.
a tennis player, check them out.
Check them out. Go to their website, www.ytexstrings.com. This isn't a sales pitch at all. Believe me. There's not many, I don't know of any, put it that way, of any stringing company out there that you can send an email to or a message to about something you may have played with or something that you like, and you're wondering about something that you have that's equally as good or better and for generally much less cost. And I mean that truly. So thanks so much to YTEX Strings, not only for being our string representative in a way for long before we did this show, but still keeping up with us and furthermore giving us stuff to give to all of you. So thank you very much, Ivor, and to the whole YTEX team. Much love, all right? Let's go. Mean that seriously. Thanks so much to all of you. Again, we were talking about players' boxes earlier in the show, right? Then we talk about players' box. Danielle Collins, we said, was scaring Zhang's player box, right? You guys are our player box. So when we get done with these shows, always a big thanks, a shout out to our entire player box, which I think right now is 631 of all of you. Our goal was 1,000 for this year, but right now we got 631 people in our player box. So as Djokovic would do, you ready? You ready, Carla?
No.
Okay, I'll do a Djokovic. Okay. Here we go. Is that cheesy? I don't know. You have to ask yourself on that.
Cheesy.
Ole! All right. So, again, thanks so much to all of you. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It's very important to us. And we will see you soon. And Carla has already put us on the map for doing daily shows during the Rogers Cup. So we better get some sleep, Carlita.
Well, it doesn't start till Monday. Qualifying rounds start tomorrow, I think, and the first round action starts on Monday.
Much love to all you guys. Been a fun show. Sorry if it was a little offset and a little long, but we didn't write it.
Long.
We didn't write it and kind of plan it out. You know, it was just kind of on paper. We got home. We were up early. We were been driving all day. We were like, we have to do a show. We have to do a show. And oh my! So we just started scribbling notes. She scribbled notes, and this is what you got. So our goal is usually 45, 50 minutes, and this one went way longer than that. So enjoy your weekend, and we will see you soon for daily shows. All right? As Carla always says.
Adios.
Adios.